This wasn't just any blitz game. This game decided the outcome of a razor-tight battle between Russian Grandmaster Daniil Dubov and American Super GM Hans Niemann. And the backstory? It's wild. After Dubov and other top GMs accused Niemann of cheating, Hans fired back. Not with words, but with a challenge. An over-the-board match. Dubov accepted and narrowly won. Then, in a jaw-dropping twist, Niemann agreed to take a polygraph test. According to Niemann, he passed. He has never cheated. Fast forward to now, the rematch. The score is tied 9-9, and this is it, game 19. Let's go. Dubov kicks off with d4, Niemann replies d5, then knight f3, knight f6, c4, c6, and g3. His signature Catalan opening. Niemann develops his light square bishop, although many prefer to keep it back on c8. Dubov plays knight c3, e6, all theory so far. But then Dubov jumps his knight to h4, going after the bishop early. Instead of retreating, Hans throws in nasty intermezzo bishop e4, forcing f3 and weakening Dubov's kingside pawns. Only then does he retreat with bishop g6. Clever stuff. e3, and now both players develop their bishops. Niemann still hasn't committed to castling, keeping his options open. Dubov captures on d5. Niemann thinks and takes back with the knight. Dubov grabs the bishop and Hans recaptures with the h-pawn, activating his rook on the open h-file. Dubov pushes forward with the pawn. Knights are traded. Hans develops his queen, signaling a possible long castle. Dubov plays king f2. Looks weird, right? But behind that pawn wall, the king is actually pretty safe. Hans castles queenside, and Dubov wastes no time, planting his rook on b1. Hans strikes with e5, taking central space. Dubov calmly answers with bishop e3, maintaining tension. But Hans follows with f5, and suddenly Dubov's king doesn't feel quite so cozy on f2. The engines say the best move here, king g2. But Dubov plays bishop d3 and Hans misses a chance to blast open with the center with f4. Instead he plays bishop d6, a bit slow. Still the tension is off the chart. The centers is a minefield. Dubov senses danger and finally moves the king. The computer still screams f4, but Hans chooses safety with knight f6. Dubov now has a slight edge, but needs pinpoint precision. Then he plays queen a4, eyeing the queenside. Hans blows open the center with f takes e4, then plays b6, protecting a7. Queen a6 check for Dubov, queen b7. Now here's the key moment. If Dubov trades queens, he likely secures a draw. But he wants more. Queen a4, a risky decision. Now bishop a6 is a threat to trap the queen, but Hans neutralizes it with king b8. Dubov plays queen c2, Hans answers with rook e8, but it's a wrong plan. Rook e1, bishop c7, a4, and Niemann retreats his rook back to h8. Lesson here? If your plan is bad, pivot. Don't be afraid to backtrack. Dubov launches a direct assault on the queenside with a5. Engines love white's position. Hans plays queen c8. At first glance it looks passive. But wait, he's aiming for queen h3 check. Dubov senses something and plays king g1, and it's a panic move. Advantage gone. Hans activates the knight. h2 is now vulnerable. Dubov grabs the pawn on b6, Hans recaptures. Dubov tries to stabilize with h4, but that just exposes the king even more. Hans plays queen c7, threatening to take on d4 and then on g3. Dubov plays king g2 to guard, but again, too slow. Knight takes e3. Dubov takes back with the rook, but Hans crashes with g5. Dubov answers with rook f3, but it lacks a concrete plan. Hans just snatches the h4 pawn. The king side is falling apart. Dubov counterattacks with c4, but Hans is faster. H takes g3. Rook recaptures on g3, and Hans brings in the queen. Queen h4, it's a mate territory. Dubov tries rook f3, but Niemann plays rook f8. Deadly precision. Dubov takes the bishop, but Hans is relentless. Queen h2 check, king f1, rook takes f3 check, king e1, queen e1 check, king d2, queen takes d4 check. And Dubov resigns. Why? After king b3, Hans plays rook takes d3 check, then the stylish finish. Rook h2. After queen takes h2, it's queen a4 check, king b2, queen a3 check, queen c3, checkmate. What a game! Niemann held for a draw in the final round, clinching the match 10.5 to 9.5. A thrilling rematch, down to the wire. Who were you rooting for, Dubov or Niemann? Drop it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, it helps the channel grow.